Welcome everybody to the May market update. This is peak spring 2026. We got some interesting charts to look at together. This is a 5-year look back at mortgage rates, everybody. Can you believe it's been 5 years of rates that are north of 6? 22, 23, 24, 25, and now 2026, rates have been between 6 and 8%. What's funny too is now, even though rates are 6.5 now, still feels about as low as they've been in the last 5 years. Not only are they as low, but people are getting used to these higher rates, as well as we're seeing incremental increases in the income levels as well, which is helping affordability slightly. The other thing that's helping certain segments of the market is the stock market. This is helping with two categories. The over $1 million is definitely happy to see stocks on their highs. I use this as a bit of a fear gauge, and in April was peak fear. Everyone's gotten over the war uncertainty, and while it still looms, gas prices are still high. Stock market's a leading indicator, and this is what the Wall Street's betting that everything's going to work out okay. Here's a crude chart for the 1 month. You can see we are still somewhat elevated, which is keeping the consumer a little bit more strapped on the margin as we enter into summer season. Here's the real data, the MLS. This is the real estate market. That's what we care most about. These are active listings in Bend. They're up. We got 630 listings plus. About just under half of them have changed price. And the average price change is about 5.5%. Now, see how it's 56 days is the median days on market for actives. That means they're not pending. Well, look how median days on markets for sold is now 13 days. That is just rip-roaring. That is like a hot spring. It's hotter than last spring. It's less than 2 weeks for the average closed home last month that it took for it to go pending. We are seeing 3 months of inventory, which last year we were seeing 4 to 5 months of inventory. So that's keeping things supported for the hot listings. So we'll dig deeper into this here as we go. Days on market. Look at this fall out of bed. It's like start your engines. Keep in mind, April closings were negotiated in March. Right now we're in May. So it's like this is ancient history. This is so far in the rear view, right? But we did feel the market being hot, and we could see the pendings at this time. But here is the timestamp print. That's the days on market. Look at the last year's. We didn't get past 21 was the busiest month. So in some ways, this is a much busier spring right now that we're experiencing. And you can see the seasonality. April, May, June, and July closings were fast, and then after July, it starts going up. Right? And then the year before, April, May, June, and July starts going up and then into the fall. Right? So the window for a really hot market sort of is April, May, June, and July window historically. Number of sales. It's rip-roaring, 150 in April. Last April we were down here in the 140 range. Definitely feels like things are picking up, and we'll probably see these type of numbers as we get the May and June data. And then after last year, we saw sales peak in September. The year before, much lower sales in the peak busy months, and it sort of trickled off into the fall as well. Median price is sort of on this lower end. There's not a ton that's been trading in the luxury price points that give you these anomaly months. I do like to look at price per square foot just to see this, and we are at sort of the lowest end of the range for the last 3 months. This is not a crash by any means. It's pretty stable, but it's just on the lower end of what we had seen of the range. Okay, this is my favorite thing to look at because it's actually useful. It's a tool you can take out and use in the marketplace when you're looking at a house, whether you're a seller or buyer. This is the last 3 months of closed homes, and you can see if it takes 30 days or less to close the home. First of all, almost half of the listings are selling in the first month. That's hot. Those half of the people are pretty stoked. They're getting 99% of their original list price. Now, they're not getting this if they're putting the price high and they didn't paint the walls and clean up the front yard. And, these are the cream of the crop are participating in this action, right? The rest of the market, so 55% of the closed homes end up taking either 2, 3, 4 or 5 months or more. And you can see the longer it takes to sell, the worse discount the seller is giving up to get the deal done, which just speaks to you can cut your price in 5 months, or you can just list with that price the first month and be considered a hot listing where you're rejecting offers because people want to buy your house so bad. It really is a psychological game, of coming out the gate with that strong price. And then if you're not getting it, adjusting so that you find yourself in this first 30-day camp. The green light is on for 2026. Only 13 days on market. Feels like things are rip roaring. You got to be quick. You got to be ready to be prepared. You got to be educated, have your pre-approval ready as a buyer. As a seller, you need to be, cleaned, have the handyman come over, fix the stuff, get your presentation dialed, get your photos perfect, because everything is competitive out there. It used to be you didn't have to do all this prep work and you could price wherever you want and you'd sell it. Now you got to do all the extra things to participate like those people who are selling in that first month. And then, we do have the warfare subsiding. It's not over, right? There's always something to worry about, but we're not seeing a ton of clients making decisions based on that. It's more about my family is moving here, or we need this, or we need that, and we got a job here. And so, there are more motivated buyers and sellers out in this market right now. Even with rates in the mid sixes, it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting a big move on rates either way right now. So it's, I think, kind of good to make peace mentally with they are what they are, and then from there get educated on what your comfort zone is, and start working with someone who has some experience in the marketplace to show you the options that are out there. So if you or yourself or anybody you know is having any situations you want to go over, myself or any Relo team member will be happy to help.